we are starting for the cell search procedure. And in the beginning, I want to introduce when we use our cell phones in the beginning, and we have to search the internet first. So in the beginning part, we will have a cell search, and it will transmit the PSS and SSS and MIP and SIP. And after that, we will go to the random access part. And in a cell search procedure, it have two information. One is PSS and SSS, and I will explain what it's doing in the next page. And the main purpose is get a synchronization and get the system frame timing. It's like a start time, and have determine the PCI. And PCI means the physical layer cell identity. And here have two situations. One is handover, and I'll explain what is the handover. Handover means the UE will go to another place and have to connect to the other node. So you have to. So this is the handover situation. And for cell reselection is in the beginning you will have in idle situation, in idle status, and after that it go to the other cells, and you have a connection with the others. So in order to support the community search, LTE defined these two, PSS and SSS, and this is in FTD the frame structure, and you can see that the PSS is they will transmit in the subframe 0 and subframe 5, and in each subframe we have a 2 slot I said before, and they will put in the first slot and in the end of the slot, here and here. And this is the PSS structure. PSS use length of 16.3 Z of 2 sequences. So it also plus the 5 guard band here to protect this. And PSS has 3 values to corresponding to the different Z2 sequence, and you can see here. And after that we can know how the UE decodes the SSS. And after knowing the PSS, UE will know the possible location. Maybe we're in here or in here, so they can directly search which part it is, and guess it is for extend or normal one. And this is the information obtained at each stage. And in the PSS, we will know these two. And if we check the SSS, we will know this information, like this is for FDD or TDD. And we also can know the length of cycling prefix. And this picture is show that in the beginning, PSS will first we'll check the PSS and then we'll check the SSS, and after that we'll have a synchronization first, and this part is it can decode the PDCCH and check the PDCCH timing and get the system information, the system message. And in the left-hand side, it means that because we are removing oftenly, so we need to check the power is enough or the quality is good or not. So we also have to do this part. And after that is the system information. And I will introduce the MIP. MIP is the downlink system band. MIP has a lot of information and have a downlink system bandwidth and configuration and SFN. And this transmission channel is from PDCCH to BCH. And you can see the period is 14 milliseconds. So see here, you will know that because it's a 14 milliseconds, so every 14 milliseconds will transmit one times. And you can see here in the saffron 4, it will transmit the first time. And if it will retransmit at here. And after 14 milliseconds, you will retransmit. Okay, so unit. Oh, okay. Sorry. The friend is the okay. I said it again. The friend is the fourth friend. The fourth friend will have the 10 subfriend for one friend have a 10 subfriend. So MIP will transmit in the 0 subfriend here. So in the every 14 millisecond period, you will transmit. So in the first you will transmit here the first time, and we'll have a retransmit in the second, the 5 friend and 6 and 7. And after this is a new period, so you can transmit again. So in the SIP is transmit at the 5 subfriends. So SIP used to determine whether the cell is suitable for cell searching or not. So we can know not all SIP must exist. So okay, SIP has a lot of we have 1 to 19 I think subfriend. We have 1 to 19 SIP, but I think then not all SIP is necessary. So for example, in the SIP 9, if for a SIP 13, this is for MBMS. So if you don't need to have a MBMS, so you don't need to have a SIP 13. And here you can see it's like the previous picture. The period is for 18 milliseconds, so you will have you have to transmit after 18 milliseconds. Okay. Oh, okay. F is first transmit and R is repeat. Yeah. Okay, I will check this part. And after that is for random access procedure part. And what is the main purpose is for random access procedure? The main purpose is to get uplink synchronization and assign UE a unique identifier C-RANT. And what is the C-RANT? RANT means the radio network temporal identity. And you can see the RANT is inside the signal information between the UE and the U-chain, and it is used as an identifier of the UE. So you can see there are a lot of RANT. For example, there have the C-RANTs, RA-RANTs, SI-RANTs, and P-RANT, and temp C-RANT. And C-RANT is for PDCCH transmission for dynamic scheduling. And RA-RANT is for random access response. I will tell this later. And SI-RANT is for SIP message. And P-RANT is for paging. And temp C-RANT is for the message 3 in the RA procedure. And this is the random access procedure. And first, it will have in the message 1, you will have a preamble sequence from UE to the InnoB. And the message 2 will have a random access response. And in the message 3, we have a connection request. And the final, we have a contention resolution. So, when the random access RACH procedure process will occur, these are the situation it will happen. You can see the left side is for contention-based RA procedure, and if had in the initial access for RRC idles, and RRC connection establishment procedure, and have a handover or downlink data arrival during the RRC connecting, and uplink data arrival during the RRC connecting. And in the contention-free, the situation will have handover and downlink data arrival during RRC connected, and RRC for the procedure purpose during the RRC connecting request random access procedure. And the red part is the double overlap between the contention-based RA procedure and the contention-free. And what is different between contention-based and contention-free? Preamble is assigned. Preamble is the keyword for contention-based and contention-free. For the contention-based part, the preamble is assigned by the UE. And in the contention-free part, the preamble is assigned by the InnoB. And now this is the message 1. UE will send the preamble. So in the first, it will choose the preamble index. And in the contention base, the preamble index is randomly selected by the UE. And in the contention free, it will specify by the InnoB. And in the later, I will show how to select the preamble. And after choose the preamble index, we will select the prach resource for sending preamble. And then we will determine the corresponding RA-RANT and determine the target receive power. And in message 2 is InnoB send the random access response. InnoB will send a random access response to the UE on the downlink share channel addressed to RA-RANT calculate from the time slot. So, yeah. So here is the RA response windows. The first you will send the preamble in the prach, and we will have a run RA response windows. And here is the start time. Here is the start time to transmit the RA response. And in message 2, we will have 3 important message we have to know. The first is the time advance command. It used to specify the amount of time required for UE uplink synchronization. And the other is the UL grant. UL grant is inform the UE of the next uplink data transmit resource. And the final is the temporal CRT. And I told before is to handle the collection problem. And in message 3, message 3 is called the RC connection request message. And message 3 will contain the UE identifier and the reasons for launching RA. So the UE identity have the 2 values. One is TMSI and the other is a random value. And TMSI is used if UE has a previous connect to the same network, so it uses a TMSI. And if they hasn't connect before, so they will choose the random values for them. And also in the message 3, they will have the contention resolution timer. It's to check RA is finished or not, and the connection with the layer 2 is done or not. And why we need this timer? We need this timer is because for the collision situation. If you doesn't have the feedback, if UE have a lot of UE, and it will choose the same preamble, because I said before the preamble is selected for randomly, so maybe you will choose the same one. And if you choose the same one and it's sent to the UE, and UE will receive 2 InnoB, but it only can connect with 1, so you have the collection. So if you have a timer, you can know whether the UE is connecting or not. So we have a timer here. And the message 4 is InnoB send the contention resolution. And so after InnoB receive the message 3, make layer inform the RC layer and tell them I have already connect with them. And UE and InnoB will start to build out the control plane and user plane signal channel. So they will have the uplink. In this message, we'll have the uplink power control and counter setting and HRQ parameter, CQI, uplink scheduling relative modulation in here. And what is different in the RC connecting status? UE has CRT and not in RC connecting status. In the left hand side, UE has a CRT. In the step 3, just the message 3, you will bring this CRT to the InnoB through the CRT make control element. And in the step 4, the InnoB will use the CRT to scram the PDCCH. And the UE will receive the PDCCH screen with the seriality and know that this is access is successful or not. And in the here, not in the RRC connecting status, in the message tree, we'll bring the unique flag to the InnoB. And in the step 4, the InnoB will send back the information of step 3 to the UE through the UE contention result identity. So, how to select for a preamble? How to select the preamble from 0 to 63, and you will see the picture here. And in the gray one is for the contention free, because the contention free means I can't be interrupted. So I give it the preamble that they won't have a collision. And in the beginning, for the green one and the orange one is for contention best part. And you will see they will have a group A or group B. And first we need to select the group. And random if the random access preamble group B is exist and the potential message size is greater than the message size group A, and the path loss is less than the PCMX, you will choose the group B. Group B is the orange one. And if not, you will choose the group A. And after randomly select a random access preamble within the select group, we will set the prach max index to 0. And after that this is the preamble format. And you will see they have a lot of preamble format. And why we need so many preamble format is because it can depend on the environment. The required condition will be different. For example, the TCP, if the longer TCP will have the better tolerance in fading environment, and it can also reduce the ISI. And if we have the longer T sequence, it will help decoding prach under the noise condition because it provides the correlation windows to detect the prach. So, and this is prach information. And from this message, we can know what is the preamble sequence. And this information we can get from the zip2 prach-config. And they will have the prach-config index and prach-frequency offset and root sequence index and this one. And in the beginning, I will tell the prach-config index. And the prach-config index is determine what type of preamble format I see before this one. Format. This you can determine whether what we want to use. Yes, so it should be used and at which system frame and subframe UE can transmit a prach preamble. So you can see, for example, if we choose the prach-configure index for 10, and then you can see the preamble format, we need to choose the 01. So from this table, we can know which prach-configure index to use. The network is most likely to detect the range from UE. We can know this part. The 14 prach-config index is the best because the UE can send the range in any frame, any subframe, in any SFN, and in any subframe. And the next is the prach frequency offset. prach frequency offset is the parameter that determines the location of prach preamble in the frequency domain. And you can see here is for FDD, and here is for the TDD part. And then you will know, sometimes we will discuss why they have to -6 here. It's because the prach needs 6 resource block to transmit, so it have the 6 here. So after this, we will introduce what is root sequencing index. There are 838 root Z of Jew sequencing available for preamble. And you can see here, if the example, the root sequencing is 22, and you can see here, we will go to this table and find the 22, the U will be a 1. And the zeroCorrelationZoneConfig and Highspeedflag is to specify the C cycling shift interval to generate a 16-4 prach sequencing from the single base sequencing. And you can see the example is it choose the 5-1, and the NCS value will be 26. And then we can know how to generate the preamble sequencing from previous slides. And you will know we select the U equals 1, and we also select the NZC is 26, and we can create this table. And how we can, and because in the beginning I said we have a 6 situation to have a random access procedure, and in the sixth situation we have the 3 way to trigger a random access procedure. So the first one is the PDCCH order trigger, and the second one is the make sublayer trigger, and the final one is the upper trigger. And in the PDCCH order trigger, the downlink data arrival when out of sync. So in the UE is positions. And you can see here. So the downlink data arrival, and the InnoB will give the DCI1A to the UE, and the preamble will choose 1 and have a random access preamble back. Yeah. And this is the contention free part. And in the make sublayer trigger, UE has the uplink data to send, but there is no available PDCCH resource available for sending SR in any TTI. So this one will have a make sublayer trigger. So what situation made the UE have no SR resource is when the UE lost uplink synchronization. It also released the SR resource. So the function of the random access based on the contention may replace the function of the SR to apply for the uplink resource. And the second one is the upper trigger. The second one is for the upper trigger, and you will have these three situations. First is the initial access and RRC connection reactivation, establishment, and handover. And in the initial access is like the previous one, and in the reactivation, it's like this. And if you have a handover, you will have the contention base and have the contention free part. And you can see from the picture, the source in node B will have to have a prach in the beginning, have a prach to transmit to the UE in the beginning, and it have a random access preamble from UE to go to the target in node B, and then go back to the UE, and you will send a CRNT to the target. And in the contention free part, you won't send a CRNT because it's contention free, so it gave a preamble that won't. You get a preamble first, so they won't have the collision part. So this doesn't need to.